The American Bully is a recently formed companion dog breed, originally recognized in 2004 by the American Bully Kennel Club and followed by the European Bully Kennel Club in 2008. It has been recognized by the United Kennel Club since July 15, 2013. The breed has not been recognized by the American Kennel Club. The American Bully is a small to large breed, which has been divided into 4 categories by some registering organizations, including Pocket, Standard, Classic, and XL. Other organizations, including the UKC, have one consistent size standard. The American Bully is a bodybuilder in the dog world. When you look at this stocky, sturdy man with the grin of a predator, you can hardly believe in the friendliness and meek disposition of the animal. However, the dog is very friendly. History of the American Bully breed. Despite the recent origin of the breed, at that time the fame of its progenitors had not subsided for 2 centuries. The reason for this is the relevance of bull baiting, a bloodthirsty entertainment with the only possible outcome: a dog attacked a bull chained to the ground. This spectacle aroused the delight of casual onlookers and participants in the underground sweepstakes. The universal soldiers of the bloody arena were dogs obtained as a result of crossing a terrier and an Old English bulldog. Thoughts about creating a breed, according to another version, improving the character of an existing one, have been visited by breeders since the 1980s, but breeding work began a decade later. Her goal was to create a companion dog that would retain its intimidating appearance, but would acquire an agreeable and friendly character. The task seemed impossible taking into account the material, because not decorative breeds, but ferocious 4-legged fighters took part in controlled mating. Aggression is so firmly rooted in the nature of pickling dogs that breeders had to spend more than 1 year to completely eradicate it. The documentation on breeding work on American Bully does not have reliable information, therefore, not only Pit Bull Terriers and Staffordshire Terriers, but also Bulldogs, French, English and even American, are considered potential progenitors of the breed. Many kennel founders, in particular, the owner of Razor's Edge Dave Wilson, denied incest of representatives of more than 2 breeds, but the fact remains, the genotype of the American Bully has absorbed the traits of at least 5 breeds. The history of the origin of the breed is notable for the fact that more than one dog breeder or club was engaged in breeding work. Hundreds of American specialists worked on the creation of improved animals. Mostly they lived in the states of Southern California and Virginia, but soon the fashion for dogs spread throughout the country. The future breed was given a name, Bully, which in English means bully. Since American Bully breeders did not share the results of breeding and did not join groups for further selection of dogs, the conformation of the animals was significantly different. Among the first bulls, there were large and smaller individuals, which had different proportions, structure and body type. The color palette consisted of more than a dozen options. However, the similarity of the dogs with their distant ancestors still brought confusion and hindered the further development of the breed. This was the impetus for the creation of tribal organizations and clubs. Among them are the American Bully Kennel Club, the United Bully Kennel Club, the Bully Breed Kennel Club, the United Dogs Association, the United Kennel Club. Europe is no exception. The European Bully Kennel Club was founded here. Branches of the latter are located in Italy, Belgium, Germany, the Netherlands, Switzerland and France. The emergence of a new breed has caused a wave of indignation among Amstaff and Pit Bull lovers. They saw the American Bully as little more than an unceremonious intervention in the breeding of classic fighting dogs. According to the breeders, the representatives of the new breed could not boast of either exterior or attractive working qualities. In addition, the dishonesty of individual breeders would entail the appearance of mestizos, owners of a similar appearance, but weakened immunity and health. Recognition of the breed took place in 2004. ABKC, UKC and EBKC were the first canine organizations to put Americans on the official register. They also consolidated the Standard Bull, which includes 4 varieties of dogs. Some medium-sized associations have developed their own breed classification based on the exterior and size. Internationally, American Bulls are still not recognized, although the number of dogs is growing every year. The bulk of lovers of these giants are focused on the historical homeland of the breed. The USA. European countries do not differ in a rich selection of nurseries where bully are bred. Despite this, dogs are increasingly appreciated for the qualities of irreplaceable companions and the ability to flawlessly perform the tasks assigned to them. American Bully, breed description. Breeding work on the creation of American Bully was carried out separately. Breeders did not seek to unite in clubs and groups and did not share the results of selection. For this reason, the appearance of the representatives of the new breed was very diverse. Dogs varied not only in size, from rather large to very miniature animals, but they also had different body proportions. In addition, one could count more than 10 variants of the color of the dogs. The similarity of the new breed to Amstiffs and Pit Bull Terriers has caused a flurry of indignation from the owners of fighting dogs, who believe that such unceremonious interference introduces huge confusion in the breeding process. There was a need to streamline breeding work in relation to bulls in order to define and officially recognize breed standards. American Bully looks vaguely similar to their ancestors, Pit Bull Terriers and Amstiffs. But they are more stocky, stronger and have a more powerful physique. Despite their muscularity, bulls are agile, compact, therefore they often surpass fighting dogs in strength, speed and endurance. The American Bully is a medium-sized breed. The weight of the dogs also depends on the height at the withers, which varies in the range from 30 to 58 kilograms. This is the official classification of American Bully. Previously, there was a fifth category, Extreme, but it was abolished at the request of the American Bully Kennel Club. Popular American Bully colors. The American Bully is a short-haired breed. The coat of dogs is very dense, moderately hard, smooth, without undercoat. The characteristic shine of the coat can always be used to assess the health of the dog. If the bull's coat loses its usual gloss, it may mean that the pet is unwell. Interesting fact, the American Bully breed standard allows for almost any color variation of the animal's coat. The only exception is merle, the so-called marble color. The owners of the bully have, of course, certain preferences. For example, in the homeland of the breed, in the United States, the most popular are deep black and chocolate colors. Traditionally, these colors are considered the most brutal and give the appearance of their owners additional masculinity and severity. And Europeans often choose colors beige, milk chocolate, smoky gray, light brown, ochre. Red bulls look very impressive, in some kennels there are even cues for red puppies. Apparently, the Red Bully looks the most authentic in the eyes of many potential bully owners. The character and habits of American Bully. Personality is perhaps the most interesting thing about the American Bully. For a long time, breeders have tried to eradicate the total aggression inherent in their ancestors, and these efforts have been crowned with success. Stern and snooty-looking bullies are actually friendly and cheerful creatures with a balanced psyche. They easily make contact with others without showing the slightest aggression. They are sociable, active, love affection and gladly accept stroking and scratching. Bully are so sociable that they are able to get along in any team, be it a dog pack or a large human family. Sensitively capturing the atmosphere in the home, the bulls show extraordinary peacemaking abilities to settle conflicts and quarrels. They cannot stand the tense situation and invariably try to defuse it with some funny trick. They get along well with the owner's children and are ready to allow them to be unceremoniously treated and excessively squeezed. They can play active games for hours, while they never allow themselves to snap back or show aggression even in response to painful pokes. Bullies make great contact with all family members, but like most dogs, only one person is considered the real owner. It is to him that the pet tries to please in order to cause indispensable approval and a smile. He loves him endlessly and faithfully, with him he is always especially affectionate and attentive. There is no more pleasure for this good-natured big man than spending time with the owner, trying not for a minute to lose sight of him. Despite the frightening appearance and well-developed hunting instincts, the American Bully does not make the perfect guard. For this purpose, he will not have enough natural aggression. But the bully defender is excellent. If one of his family members is in danger, he will not hesitate to pounce on the offender, no matter what size. Bully will protect his own to the last, even at the cost of his own health and life. It is difficult to find a more selfless and devoted dog in this regard. The American Bully should not be left alone for long. Of course, he will not allow himself to spoil furniture out of resentment or howl under the door, irritating neighbors. But still, bulls are very social dogs. They are strongly attached to close people, they need constant attention, and do not tolerate separation from their owners. Interesting facts about American Bully. High socialization, good-natured character and sociability made the harsh-looking American Bully an ideal companion. Representatives of this breed are successfully used to communicate with people in the period of post-traumatic disorders. It has been proven that their positive and vital energy have a huge positive impact on the psycho-emotional state of a person. Thanks to their remarkable strength, agility and endurance, American Bullies become excellent lifeguards. They are selfless and courageous and will fight to the last for the life and salvation of the victim. The American Bully is also an excellent nanny for the owner's children. This patient dog is able to withstand several hours of games and not even get angry with petty tormentors. It happens that the bull shows aggression towards his relatives. But he will never react unfriendly to a person in the absence of good reason, deliberately provoking aggression, causing severe pain or attacking the owner. Bully has such a strong bond with the owner that over time he takes over his character traits. Unfortunately, not only the best ones. And if the owner allows himself aggression towards the pet, sooner or later he may meet with a corresponding rebuff. But if the bull is comfortable with his family members, he turns into a playful kitten. With pleasure, he will fall on his back and trustingly substitute your stomach for stroking. Pros and cons of American Bully. Before deciding to have an American Bully at home, you must carefully weigh the pros and cons, taking into account the characteristics of the breed. It should be understood that despite the absence of aggression, the large size of the animal can be obviously traumatic for young children or for the elderly. The pet can play too much and not calculate the consequences of comic attacks, jumps, bites. On a walk, he can jump off his seat in pursuit of a cat or other dog, and a jerk of the leash will lead to a fall or injury. The breed is not suitable for owners of a soft character. Although the bull is usually good-natured and phlegmatic, he tends to show dominance, especially if he feels some weakness on the part of the owner. This is the sin of young males under the age of 1.5 years. If you do not show sufficient firmness and upbringing in time, the pet can completely get out of control. Therefore, you need to build the correct hierarchy, starting with the puppy age of the pet. People who do not feel the ability for this process and who do not have experience in raising fighting dogs, it is better to opt for another breed. Bully needs constant attention and is very attached to his family. He suffers from long loneliness, which he feels almost physically, and can even get sick against his back kilograms round. In addition, left to itself, the pet loses the habit of seeing the owner as a leader, loses communication with him, and this leads to problems in communication and mutual understanding. Interesting fact, an important point when choosing an American Bully as a pet is the presence of other pets in the family. Bully usually get along well with them, but exceptions do happen. Some young males, having a particularly cocky character, can get involved in conflicts with relatives on a walk with or without reason. For such aggressors, the presence of decorative rodents, cats or birds in the house in addition to them is far from the best solution. It is necessary either to separate the habitats of these pets from the territory of the bully or to be extremely vigilant, closely monitor the behavior of both and avoid conflicts. By their nature, bulls are not overly active animals, but they cannot be called sofa cushions either. To satisfy the need for physical activity, Americans are quite enough for an hour and a half walk twice a day. But the bully will never give up adventures and new impressions, therefore any outings to nature with the owner, a country trip, a hike, fishing, bring a cheerful and curious bully a lot of positive emotions. American Bully care. Grooming American Bully is easy. Basically, they need the same hygiene procedures as most other short-haired breeds. It is due to the presence of short hair that the bullies do not need a thorough daily combing. It is sufficient to carry out this procedure once a week with a coarse bristled brush. And only during the period of seasonal molting, it is advisable to comb out the pet twice as often. Often bathing American Bully is also unnecessary and even harmful. If you do this more than twice a month, then the pet's coat loses its natural protective fat layer. In this case, a disruption in the work of the sebaceous glands occurs, which can lead to the appearance of a specific odor, which is very difficult to get rid of later. If the coat looks dirty, you can wipe your pet with a damp cloth or even use dry shampoo. And water procedures can be arranged when the bully is really dirty. In this case, use mild hygienic detergents or special shampoos for short-haired dogs, free of alkalis and acids, rinsing them off with warm water. Usually bulls tolerate bathing well and even get a lot of pleasure from it. But they do not like drying with a hairdryer. And since short hair dries quite quickly, you can simply wipe your pet with a towel after water procedures and leave it to dry naturally. The only condition that must be ensured in this case is the absence of drafts. Bully, although they are distinguished by the presence of a very strong immunity, are still not immune from colds. Important fact, a special spot of attention is the eyes and ears of the American Bully. They should be inspected daily for infections and parasites. Ear cleaning should be done as needed, without using a cotton swab. Dirt and dust are removed with a damp cotton swab, and this should be done carefully so as not to injure the animal's ear and not to infect. Beginning at weaning age, American Bully puppies should be fed at least 5 times a day. Then the number of meals is gradually reduced, and an adult 1-year-old dog needs to be fed only twice a day, in the morning and in the evening. It should be borne in mind that American bulls are prone to gaining excess weight, so food portions should be moderate and daily physical activity is mandatory. Diseases and health problems. When creating the American Bully breed, the breeders did a great job, providing its representatives with excellent genetics. The descendants of fighting dogs are distinguished by good health and enviable immunity. But even these healthy people, especially city dwellers, are trapped by some ailments. American bulls do not tolerate high temperatures. Simply put, they don't like heat. Even despite the absence of long hair, bulls prefer to hide in the shade on hot sunny days or sit at home in an air-conditioned room. You can take your pet out for a walk only early in the morning or late in the evening when the heat has subsided. During a hot period, it is especially important to monitor the presence of fresh water in the dog's bowl so that the pet does not overheat and does not suffer from thirst, optic nerve atrophy, cataract. These problems, unfortunately, are transmitted genetically. Therefore, when choosing an American Bully puppy, you should carefully study the medical records of its parents. Diseases of the teeth. The anatomical structure of the American Bull's mouth contributes to the appearance of plaque. In the absence of proper hygiene, including daily brushing of teeth, plaque hardens, turns into tartar, which can only be removed in a veterinary clinic. Dysplasia of the joints. This disease manifests itself, as a rule, even in puppyhood. Many owners give up puppies diagnosed with this ailment, returning them to the breeder or simply throwing them out into the street. Nevertheless, modern veterinary medicine offers ways to treat joint dysplasia quite successfully. Many dogs are able to feel quite satisfying and live a full, fulfilling life. Demodectic mange. A very unpleasant skin disease caused by a microscopic worm-like mite. It starts quite harmlessly with the usual itching, but subsequently, without proper treatment, the disease develops rapidly, affects the internal organs, and can lead to the death of the animal. Quite difficult to treat. All these possible ailments indicate that the health and general condition of the American Bully should be in the area of increased attention of its owner. Routine checkups with a veterinarian, timely vaccinations, hygiene and proper nutrition will help to keep the pet's health problems to a minimum. American Bully. The price and how to buy it correctly. The American Bully is an expensive breed. Prices for puppies start at around $2,000 and go up to $7,000. You can buy a cheaper puppy, but this will be a so-called breeding marriage. Such animals are not allowed to exhibitions and competitions and do not participate in breeding. European nurseries sell representatives of the breed much cheaper. The minimum cost of their puppies is around $700. When buying an American Bully puppy, it is very easy to run into deception. Unscrupulous sellers under the guise of a bull offer inexperienced buyers of American Staffordshire Terrier or Pit Bull puppies. At an early age, puppies of these breeds are really similar to each other and it is easy to confuse them. In order not to buy a fake American Bully, you should not trust random breeders. It is better to contact the official American or European kennels who value their reputation and are interested in the purity of the blood of the breed representatives. If this is not possible, you should ensure your choice with the recommendations of an experienced canine expert who specializes in fighting dog breeds. Puppies are bought at the age of 1.5 to 2 months when they no longer need maternal care. To choose a healthy baby, you first need to pay attention to his behavior and appearance. The puppy should be active and playful, but not overly. But a cowardly and timid kid, huddled in a far corner, may subsequently turn out to be a weak and painful dog, so it is better to refuse to purchase such a puppy in advance. A conscientious breeder has puppies always clean and well groomed, with a mandatory set of necessary documents, with a veterinary passport, in which the marks of primary vaccination are affixed. The new owner of the baby receives from the breeder the first recommendations on the maintenance and care of the four-legged friend, as well as advice on his early adaptation to the new living conditions.